So every child will end up being violated, and there is an observer who doesn't care, saying, I also went through it.
We need also to be open. We need to communicate with our children, not talk. Communication is two-way. You speak, I listen, I respond, you listen,
Yes.
then we act on it.
Listen to the children. So they have to be trained to speak. Hello, my name is Crispin Ochieng Okelo. I am the Executive Director here at 𝑻𝒉𝒆 Organization. And I'm so excited also to delve into this particular podcast today with the very great ladies here. And I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. Maybe we start with you.
And I am Jackie Keller. I am a mother of 3. And at 𝒉𝒆, I am a mother of many, but I have my 2 boys here. Yes, I work as a counselor at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. And I'm here to have fun and also to learn more. They say each and every new day is a new learning experience. So with this podcast, I know there's something I will take home with me today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much and welcome so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Okay, my name is Kate Olwe. I am a project manager here at 𝒉𝒆, currently running a program called Her Voice Fund. The banner is just there, deal with adolescent girls. And yeah, I'm happy to join into this podcast because I really want to learn a lot about children and unlearn, because, we learn every day, just like you said.
True.
Yes, we never stop learning.
Wow, we never stop learning. And that's the sole reason why we are here, to learn, unlearn, and relearn from one another, right?
Yes.
True.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's really a powerful way of starting it. And it is one of the reasons why we are here. You see, this space has been here for the children, and the children have, in the previous episodes of this podcast, the children have raised a lot of issues. And immediately they closed school, we engaged them this particular week. And some issues are pertinent and pressing and urgent that needs to be addressed by all of us. So for this reason today, our topic is violence against children. And I would like us to share, what do you know about what is violence against children? Or what is this violence? What can you, in your own understanding? Yeah.
Okay. As per me, I know it's any form of physical abuse or sexual or even emotional. Yeah, in that if I have a verbal abuse against my child or someone else, that is a form of violence to that person.
Verbal abuse, form of violence. Thank you so much, Jackie. Yes, Kate, what do you understand by the word violence against children or a child?
Violence against a child. It happens in so many ways. Some ways that we don't know, So I'd say mostly the ones that are being reported nowadays is emotional, because so many parents don't know that they are hurting their children emotionally. Okay? So I think so many people think that violating a child is only beating them up so bad. So they tend to stop beating them up now. They don't know that what they are telling this child or whatever they are doing to this child is really creating the same impact like beating them up or inflicting pain on them.
Yeah, very true. And I'm glad you're giving even good examples to define your understanding or to explain how you understand this. The truth of the matter is that's true. Those are some of the forms of violence. There are several forms of violence. And did you know that in even witnessing, just say, for example, a neighbor or a friend is beating up a child, excessively, or even not excessively, just beating up, or maybe denying them food, and you understand they're not giving them food, and you are aware, you are witnessing, that is also an abuse, because we are responsible to actually report this kind of vices, whenever they happen. But in our interest, we would like to have prevention rather than response, just prevent them from happening altogether. So anyway, did you ever experience this kind of any form of violence, or any one of you just mentioned, Kate, I can see you smile. Yeah, when you are growing up, or maybe when you're an adult, you know.
Yes, I actually, I came to realize that I was going through abuse. Okay, maybe, you know, people learn. Maybe my parents didn't know that they were abusing me in a way. All right? Yeah. So there's difference between punishing a child and disciplining a child. But for me, I think I was being punished because my mom would beat you up so bad. Then to the extent of you know, you faint. You just faint. Then they try to wake you up. They pour cold water on you. They try to confirm whether you are dead. They're touching you. Then they feel like, bada napumua. Then they wait for you to wake up. Then immediately you wake up. Then the war continues. All right? Then my mom, she's like, she's telling you that unadhani ukifaint itaisha. Haitaisha. We have to finish this today. And then, yeah, so those are kind of the things. Nowadays we talked, I actually asked my mom why she was doing what she was doing, and she's like, but now you see you are a strong woman because of me. So, you know, she was never scared. Maybe I would have died. Okay? Yeah, so I think parents need to learn how to discipline their children, because I actually, apart from being beaten, I think the verbal, because mamangu, she sends you to a shop, then if someone asks you, ata for direction, excuse me, hii njia ya kwenda huko ni wapi na wapi, from the rooftop huko juu, she calls you, she anakuambia maneno zingine, yani it was just so embarrassing and so bad, but she felt like she was being strict. She felt like she was raising us to be good people. Something that really, really affected me. And it still affects me because I don't want to do the same thing to my children. Yeah.
Wow, this is heavy. You know, you mentioned your mom beats you up, you kind of faint, then she resuscitates you, you wake up, you kind of gain your consciousness, and then you're beaten up again.
The beating
so
continues.
What was the point? What was the point there of resuscitating you? Anyway, thank you for sharing, and really sorry for the previous experiences. Those we call them essays. You know, essays in other terms. We'll talk about this here.
Yeah.
Jackie, Karibu, tell us your bit. Did you experience this? You know, and how was it? And what form of violence did you experience?
Generally, what I've experienced is same as Kate, but I thought it was the normal. It was the norm then with our parents, as you can see. Me, I'm a little bit aged, so my parents are even more aged than me. So that was a routine, continuous routine. You do anything good or bad, there's some caning at the end of it all. Whether you are the one who is on the wrong or on the right, you still get the caning. Whether you win or lose a fight, you get the cane. So we grew up thinking that was normal. We grew up thinking that was the way to go. Some of us have even gone a step ahead into our children. That is how we talk to them. That is how we instill discipline, in quotes. But you see, this is not, it is instilling fear in these children. And these children, maybe, as they continue also, they also impart the same to their children or even to the society. You can see of late we've been having so many, like schools being banned, vitu kama hizo. If you look closely, utapata these children have this form of violence even from home. Yeah, so imekuwa ikirika. They think it's normal. So the only way they can voice themselves is, let us ban the school. Let us steal. No, we need now to relearn on how our voice can speak for us. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you too.
I'm like, what? They ban school. Somebody argued in this country, I don't want to mention, that the schools are never banned. They ban the dormitories, and the dormitories are like their homes.
Yeah.
So they hate those homes. So if the children had a chance, maybe they would have banned our homes. Somebody argued that way, but that's a story for another day. now you've just told me whether you did it, you do well, or you're on the right, on the wrong, you'll be beaten up.
True.
You get it? And what are these causes? What causes this? How does this that now you're beaten up? I know this is now the physical part of it, but maybe amalgamated or coupled with emotional, or rather verbal abuse.
Yes.
You know, what am I trying to bring home? Causes. What happens in order for this violence to actually occur? Yeah. What are the causes of this violence? What is causing this violence?
Maybe I'll start up by saying family conflicts, because you realize that when the couple are fighting, and maybe the children witnessing the abuse, that is also a form of abuse, because the husband is hitting the woman. So, and the children we call them observers. So they are just observing. And this child will grow up knowing that it is something normal. And even if they grow up to be adults, getting married or marry, they will do the same things too. They will fight because they think they say it's normal. My mom and dad used to fight, and we were always there, and we grew up. So if we fight in front of these children, it is not a big deal, all right? And it goes on and on and on. Because your children will also grow the same. Their children, I mean, it will be a continuous thing. It will be like a family trend. Yeah, because you'll say that mamangu hata alikuwa anapigwa tu, and watoto walikuwa hapo, nothing happened. So you don't care about the children because you feel like your parents never cared about you. All right. So family conflicts causes. They cause this so much. Yeah, so I think parents should look into this. If you are maybe quarreling, having a fight, then let the children not see, or they shouldn't be there.
They shouldn't be there.
Yes.
I also think with our economical status, so I'll put it as poverty, also drives us to have this violence in our homes. In that I've gone out to work, I come back home, I have nothing. And there are several mouths to feed. There are several bills to be paid. And then I look at my spouse and I feel like they are doing nothing. Yeah. So I'll vent that anger on him or on her. So the spouse that has been put into a situation of violence will now take it on the lesser person who is the child. So when I have gone away, now my spouse will come in and take his vent of his anger on the children. And you see, these children will think, and there's so much happening even in those we assume are affluent or are rich, as we call them. But you see, you can never come to hear of it until it is something big. Like maybe there's a suicide or a death in the family, such stuff. But with us, in that my 6x6 house, we see everything that is happening there. So my children experience at first hand everything that is happening in that house, whether it's good or it's bad. And them also, they grow up thinking this is the only way. This is the
only way of life.
Of life, yeah. And they embrace it and move on, even to their children, to their children's children.
Yeah. Very true. I mentioned earlier that there's something called ACEs. That is advanced. No, not advanced. It's called. The first A is actually. I think my memory is failing me here. But ACEs, it should be adverse. Yes, adverse childhood experiences. All right.
Yes.
So these childhood experiences, mostly they stick with us. Yeah. They stick with us, and when they stick with an individual, with a child, then the memories are very clear. As much as they caused a lot of pain, we also tend to feel that we are who we are because of those kind of pain. What Kate was talking about.
True.
Yeah, but do you think, what are some of the effects? You may maybe now immediately, because that's what was to be my next question. What are some of the effects of, violence against children? It can be immediate effect or the long-term effect. You can mention any that you know. This, because of violence, this is the effect or the impact, so to say. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start by saying some of the effects. Actually, most of them are visible. Some can't be seen. For example, myself, when we were growing up, my mom had several children, including my cousins. So we used to live in a double room, and we were like 12. So my mom would tell you, to say, for example, all of you are going to school, and some of you have been sent back home for school fees. Then my mom would say, you'll stay home. Then the two of them will go back to school. So now you see, as a child, you feel so bad. You feel like your parents doesn't love you, and because now your parent favors others than you, so it's a matter of biasness. And it actually happened until we went to high school. Yes. So even in high school, I had to drop out so that my brother would continue. But then, you see, my mom was able to pay, and my mom and my dad were able to pay for the school. But now, since they had some important things to do, they'd say, we bado ni mdogo, just stay home so that your brother finishes, then you will go back. So you see, those kind of things still, I can't forget those kind of stuff, because I also needed a better education, my sister and I. So you ended up staying home for 1 year, waiting for your brother to continue school. So those are kind of the things that really hurt people so much.
Well, it's unfortunate, really. It's unfortunate. That's also very heavy. You realize even the tonation that is coming out. And I was noting some feelings, the feelings. How we feel dictates how, again, we relate with the people, okay? And how we relate with the people is informed by how they made us feel. You get it?
Yes.
So maybe these children who have experienced violence are experiencing multiple or just a form of violence. For example, sexual, so to say.
True.
A child who's been defiled by either adult or a biological father or a close relative, they may not forget. They will not actually forget this, because that scar is actually there. And every time, for example, if they're taken to school, depending with this act happened, if it's in a classroom setup or in school setup or at home setup or wherever, they kind of fear, If it's trust, then they lose trust from any adult. You get that? Yes. So these are some of the things that, for example, if sometimes they may cry, if that's immediately, may cry, but that cry may be even at the long term. You get it? Whenever they remember this, they shed tears. They're still crying.
Yeah.
And that's the importance of the counseling processes. Yes. You get it? Yeah, that's why we have counselors here. We ensure that at least every child, not necessarily, whenever you need, people go to hospital. We encourage you to go to the hospital even though you are not sick. But what happens? We wait until we are next to death. Then when we rush to the hospital, it's too late. So maybe you can share what are some of the effects of this violence, briefly, maybe in addition to that, if you have one, and then we will be tackling the last quiz. Okay,
I want to dwell on sexual abuse. And most of the incidences happen to the survivors. You find that it is somebody they know. A dad, an uncle, a grandfather, a neighbor. That one that unamtrust na mtoto wako ende ukafunzwe mathematics na fulani.
Yeah.
So anafundishwa mathematics mpaka na biology. Unaona. And then there's that they're being instilled fear. If you say I will do this and this.
Some threats. Yeah.
So inafika mahali mpaka mtoto anazoea not knowing that this is violence against that child. So yeye anazoea naona hii ni kawaida. And actually, in a perverted way, they come now to learn, like, to love it and to live with it. So by the time this child gets help, it is way too late. So I would encourage us parents that don't be very overconfident with anyone, with your child, whether male or female. Because even nowadays, the boys are being sodomized.
Yes.
So as parents, as somebody in the know, don't be free at that neighbor, uyo sijui guka, and listen to that child.
Listen to the child.
Yeah, if a child tells you, I don't want to go to, even us women, we are bad, a male child will tell you, sitaki kwenda kwa grandma. Lakini wanainsist, pana, grandma ni mzuri, sijui ni mama yangu. Unaona? You don't know that this grandma akiwa pale in the locked, in her closet, what she does to this child. So try to find out kwa nini hataki kwenda.
Why?
Yeah. And don't force.
Don't force.
I've read our story in the same context. The parents were so busy, so they would always send their male child to their mother. So mtoto kila wakati anawaambia hapana sitaki kwenda huko, but inakuwa wanamlazimisha. But wakati walikuja kujua, it's because such a talk was done in school. And the counselor at that time advised the children she's somebody they can speak to. And she will keep their secret.
Yes.
So the boy knew this secret I've been keeping is not something good. So ndo hapo akatoa this evidence. Na kutoa hii evidence ikakuja mpaka he was removed even from the parents and taken to a foster home. So you can imagine that turmoil, that pain. Mpaka your child is taken away from you just because you refuse to listen to their voice.
Refusing to listen to their voices. I mean, this is something that, thank you so much for sharing this. These are very painful stories and experiences, really. How I wish we had a longer time also to explore further, because I also have some 2 serious cases. In my line of work, I've encountered 2. One, a perpetrator claiming that this child was interested. You know, she also alikuwa anataka here in Babadogo, by the way. Yeah, and we arrested the perpetrator. Another one was just recently, I think just recently, a very old mzee, 64, and it was on a WhatsApp with a 10 years old girl. You get it. Again, the same case. So unajua alikuwa anataka sijui nini. So you wonder. So for that reason, the question is, who is responsible to end this violence against children? That's so who should end this violence against children? Because it's not right. It's a crime, actually. It's not okay. It's denying the children the right to be the children, you know, to grow as a child. You get it? So who should end this violence? Who's responsible? Is it us? Is it the government? Is it them? Is it who? Who do you think should they take responsibility?
Everybody should be responsible
Yes.
to end this violence. Because I'd say most of the people have gone through this. So they know the story. They know most of them are suffering from the PTSD out of this. Yes. And so they are in a better...
PTSD? PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder, for clarification for the listeners. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So they are in a better position to end this because they know how it can really create impact. It can really create a greater impact in someone's life. So instead of doing what we call revenging, like some people say that mimi nitafanya venye nilifanyiwa.
Yes.
You try to stop it. You try to stop it because I won't feel good when I see another child being violated and I just look at it and I say, hadi mimi nilisurvive too. Yeah, it won't help because also that child will grow up to see another child being violated. Aseme too, hadi mimi nilisurvive, all right? So every child will end up being violated and there is an observer who doesn't care, saying, I also went through it and nobody helped me. So people should learn to help themselves. So if we come together as the community and the children, we talk about violence together and the prevention, I think we will have a better society.
We'll have a better society. Yes. We'll have a better society. We come together, talk about it, and we may have a better society. Yes. What's your take on this? Who is responsible to end this violence? We have to do something, right? I mean, it's if we don't, who else will do this? Yes.
I think Kate has summed it up well, and I agree with her.
Sure.
Everyone is responsible. Don't turn your back on a child that's being violated. It could be that child, but you don't know about tomorrow. It could be your child. You might not be violating your child, but someone else will do it. This is somebody who has gone through violence in their childhood. So if I keep quiet, and then when it happens on me, I feel the pain, I want to speak out, no one will help me. But if I see somebody else going through it and I speak out for that person, because they might not be in a position to speak out, maybe should something similar happen to me or to my children, somebody will be there to speak for that child, to speak for me.
Yes.
Wow. You see, it's about speaking up, eh?
Yes.
That is what we said, response. Something has happened, we are going to report, right? Which is okay. However, in the next episode, hopefully, we are going to talk into details. How can we actually prevent? What are the steps to prevent violence against children from happening altogether? Because otherwise we'll be forever responding. It has happened, call this number, it is okay for now, because we must have those options.
Yeah.
But how can what are the preparedness level? From the family level, in school, and even the child themselves. You said somebody will speak for them. That is what is happening currently. But can we engage these children, equip them, train them, and empower them that they're able to voice up, just come and say what you're saying before. Your child is telling you, please, ma'am, I don't want to go there, kwa uncle, kwa auntie, kwa teacher kaka, kwa who. But you say, no, you just go. What is the problem with you?
Yeah.
Listen to the children. So they have to be trained to speak. Yes, colleagues, I want us to look at, as much as we're talking about prevention, in child space, we're talking about prevention, we can't miss the responses. There's a program that we are currently, a project that we've been running in Babadogo on prevention of violence against children for the last, I think 1 year now. Now, during our interventions, what we've met is some cases, a number of cases, by the way, in fact, overwhelming, that needs response. I've been defiled, I've been beaten up, I've been denied food, I've been in school, cases are always emerging. And you can't just say, as we're on prevention, we are not doing response. We can't respond. So for the young people, the children who have experienced this, either at home, some don't even know that they've been abused. But now through this podcast and the episodes that are past, maybe a child will realize, so this was an abuse or is an abuse. I want some help. What can these victims, so to say, or actually survivors of the violence, the children especially, do? What do you suggest?
Okay, like I said earlier, currently I'm running a program and I'm handling AGYWs. AGYWs means adolescent and young women. So I have cases of very, very young mothers of maybe around 14, 15, that is still a child. Yes, so they have gone through abuse, all right? And in child space, we have counselors, we have psychologists. So if the case is advanced, we refer them. We have a psychologist who handles them. They need to be talked to. Because if they're not talked to, they will do the same thing to their children, all right? Some of them have been abused by their brothers. Some of them were abused by their fathers who are in drugs. And one of the cases that I received just recently, she's 13, she has a child. She was abused. She doesn't know the father. And the mother doesn't care. Now, the mother told her, umeshakuwa mwanamke, sasa wewe jishughulikie. All right. So, a girl like that, she needs support. She needs to be talked to, because if she grows up with that thing inside her, she will end up maybe hurting the child or hurting herself, or hurting both the child and herself. All right. So if cases like those are so advanced, you take them to a specialist, a psychologist, of course. We have them here. They are being talked to. They need to have many sessions to just talk about what they went through. Yeah, that just like we always say, it's always okay not to be okay. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. So, and thank you for the encouragement. In Child Space, it is true that we're having these services for both, of course, children and adults. Only that not many parents know about this program because it's embedded on our mental health program that we've been doing here for some time now with the children. But thank you so much for bringing this out. And Jackie,
Yes.
what do you think these survivors should do?
Okay, basically, I want to agree with Kate.
Yes.
Let them know that there's somebody somewhere for them. If they cannot reach here, Child Space, maybe there's something closer to them that is doing the same thing you people are doing here. There's hospitals like the Kajina Kidogo. This is one that deals with rape cases.
The
one
MSF or something?
MSF, yeah.
Yes.
Such even safe houses are there. So asikae na hii shida akisema hii ni yangu, wacha ni mimi nilijitakia. So you can imagine kama the mother anamwambia umeshakuwa mwanamke, at the back of my mind ana feel so ni mimi nimejiletea hii, let me deal with it my own way. Now dealing with it her own way is to inflict the same on the child.
Sure.
So I want them to know that this help. Yeah, they don't need to hide behind that cocoon. Ati utaibisha familia, sijui mara utafanya nini. No, they need to know that when I speak out, I am helping 100 others who might not have that opportunity to speak out and to reach out for help. And help is just a phone call away. Yeah.
Beautiful. Help is a phone call away. And thank you so much, friends. That is Jackie and Kate. So what's your parting shot, Kate, about this as we finish?
Yeah, just like you've said, Kaka, I think the involvement of the children will really help. Because these children are the ones who are seeing a lot of things.
Yes.
And most of them don't have safe spaces to talk to. Some of them are so scared. But if they learn to trust us, of course, they will definitely speak up. And some of the parents also are afraid to speak because maybe your child was violated by your husband and you don't want people to know. Right? So you tell your child to just keep it between you. You'll sort it out.
Yes.
And what you don't know is that since the husband realized that you don't want it to go outside, he will keep on doing it because you as a mother, you are protecting your husband, right? From the society. And if we learn if the children learn to trust us, of course they will speak up.
Fantastic.
Yes, so the children need to trust us first, then they open up. You know, if a child tells you, my dad is doing this to me, then first question you're going to ask, does your mom know? All right? Then the child says, yes, my mom knows. And what is she doing about it? She told me not to tell anybody. All right? So, you know, from there, now we know how we are going to handle this child. So if we bring the children together, we teach them about violence and prevention, I think it will the percentage will go down.
Beautiful. The children need to, that's what I took from you, the children need to trust us. But I want to say this, let us make the children trust us.
Yes.
You get it? Let us be trustworthy. Let us be trustable. Let us create the environment to trust, you know, for trusting. Because they can't just trust us. Say, for example, tell me, I will not tell anyone then. Tell me who broke this glass. I will not beat you up. Just tell me. And then it's me that mommy, and then you beat them up. Then how will you trust? How will you trust next time? So we need to also train ourselves to be trusted by the children, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Kate, for those that beautiful parting shot in you.
My parting shot is, as parents, we need also to be open. We need to communicate with our children, not talk. Communication is two-way. You speak, I listen. I respond, you listen.
Yes.
Then we act on it the way it's supposed to do. And that is the effective communication. In that, and also as I'm showing my child or that child my love, and he has gained the trust.
Yes.
Nothing. You cannot do anything to that child without them knowing I can go and speak to my mom and she will act.
Fantastic.
By the way, me, I act. Musema case badai. My child comes and tell me, jirani amenifanya hivi na hivi. Nitaenda huko kwanza. Ndio nirudi sasa nianze kutaka kujua how it started. Yeah. So if I find my child akona makosa, nitamreprimand, but not in front of the neighbor.
Not in front of the neighbor or friends or something. Very nice. Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Kate, for your beautiful insights. We, as Child Space Organization, we've had, we are experiencing a very big pressure, from the community right now to come up with a support group for the both male and female, the children, boys, men. They need this because during Mental Health Day celebrations, this commemoration this year, we had a forum with the young boys and young men here, and some of the recommendations were, can we continue with this? This is really good. We come and vent out, we come and share, we come and listen in, They had the psychologist there, they had our colleague Kate here, maybe taking them through those sessions for just 2 hours. And they were like, we need this program. We don't have, as men, we don't have anywhere to share, to speak out. And we're expected to just, kuvumilia. Jikaze kimwanaume.
And to man up.
And these are the same people, exactly, man up. Those are the words. These are the same people who are in our families. With all those stressors, they end up also being the perpetrators of any forms of the violence that have been mentioned here. So thank you so much for this. I hope that in the next episode we're going to talk about the actual steps that actually individuals can do, what the government can do, what the CSOs the CSOs can do, and everybody, even the children themselves. If it is school and the teachers, if we can form clubs and be able to encourage them to speak, let us actually do that. I've been your host today. My name is Crispin. And thank you so much for this, listening to this podcast from Child Space Organization. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.